For blast, is that a unit has more than one? No, it has five or more.
Correct.
Okay, so if the Eradicator squad is only targeting monsters or vehicles, and the unit contains one, how would that apply? Oh, non-monster. Never mind. Gotcha. I'm looking at the profile. Yep, that makes sense. Non-monster vehicle. Okay. Just blast weapons, close combat weapon, formulae weapon. Zero AP. Yeah, it's all right. It's crazy that the speeder gets a melee weapon.
All vehicles have a melee weapon.
Well, yeah, I know, but it's not bad. It's four attacks with a weapon skill of three up. And usually they're terrible to hit.
That's true. I think with the stuff like that, they usually are insinuating that somebody's going to lean outside of the speeder and smack somebody.
I wonder if it has the same ability as you can shoot from within a vehicle. You get a unit. I mean, you get a model within your vehicle, and then now the vehicle has that weapon profile.
Open
I
top
wonder if
or
open top,
firing
right?
deck. Yeah, it doesn't have it.
Yeah, firing doesn't have it. No, no, I don't see it. Oh, interesting. I am not a fan of the land speeder. But that's just me. I
Pro-
like my storm. I like the storm speeder's profile. The way it looks better. I mean, that's it. That's all I like about it. Oh, good. Photoshop this in. I have had a terrible time trying to play Forza Horizon 6.
oh no.
Yeah, I might need a new graphics card, and that's like close to $700.
It is an awful time to need to upgrade your computer for anything nowadays, and graphics cards especially.
Well, I mean, I could just buy an Xbox, which is about the same price. Maybe I'll just buy an Xbox.
Hey, we got one chat person in chat. Wait, let's go.
Hey, let's
Good
go.
evening, Dark Light, my brother.
Dark Light Dreamer in his house.
I'm going to give it just another minute, see if anyone else trickles in, and then we'll get started. Right now, it looks like we just got me and Darklight in the chat.
Mm-hmm. You know, a lemon is a hybrid fruit from a citron and a bitter orange. So life never gave us lemons.
We gave
We
ourselves.
we gave ourselves lemons.
It's true. It's true. But that goes along with my lifelong theme of making shit more difficult for myself. So
I know, right? Oh,
you always got to do stuff the hard way, don't you? Yeah.
pretty much.
That's not a flex. I just don't know no better.
Yeah, it's true. New file. All right. What are we gonna do here? Resolution.
There's once a quote of, life gives you lemons, make them take the lemons back, burn their house down with the lemons. So Dark Light says, so do I burn my own house down with the lemons?
Well, you can huff and puff. Okay, RGB plus squares pixels. Yeah, okay. And 7 by 5 inches? Why is it inches? I don't want. Hmm.
All right. I guess we're getting on to a quarter after. So, well, if no one else, at least we got the amazing Dark Light Dreamer. All right, let's roll it.
All right.
What is up, beautiful people? It's Wolfbrother Mythos, and this is Wolfbrother Hobbies. Welcome to tonight's show. As always, I am joined by the amazing, the handsome, and in perfectly healthy, non-questionable condition. We have
Rob from the Miniatures Paintbrush. How is everyone?
I am okay-ish for the most part. My meds finally came in just about an hour before the show. So I am now 4 weeks off the meds, feeling very imbalanced, but I did pop one right before the show. Usually you have to have them in your system for a few days before you can really start to take effect, but hopefully I start feeling some effect of the meds soon, and I have just been feeling very imbalanced. But I can't gripe too much. Sounds like you are having it even worse than I.
Oh, me? Well, yeah. My knee has been killing me for a long time, and I know I had a tear in my meniscus, and they went to say, "Oh, that's not a problem. We'll just shave off the edge." And then they looked at me and it's like, "Oh, you're very arthritic." And I'm like, "Yeah, I played basketball in college." And they're like, "Oh, now you have several tears all on." I'm like, "Great." So I've been limping lately. It's been quite a journey, and hopefully I have to get surgery. But if I need surgery to make this better, then okay. So there's that.
Anything you need to get better, right?
Yep. Tomorrow is the gender reveal for my child, so that's gonna be
That's
interesting. Yeah, it is. So keeping that in, and
further along than I realized.
oh yeah. See, even with one leg, I'm still all right. I'm a virile kind of person. But in all seriousness, wait a second. In all seriousness, I need to get off the show. Nothing is in all serious. No, he's saying. Serious? What are you talking about?
You mentioning the compounding problem of your arthritis and your meniscus problems. He says you now have super arthritis. Congrats.
I've unlocked a level of arthritis. It's just bone on bone action. So if you're into bony,
oh yeah. Speaking of bone on bone action, you can now check out our OnlyFans coming up for 11th edition for a starting price of only $99.99.
Oh my goodness. What have you been working on, brother?
I have been working on stuff. So mostly I spent a few days uh, on working on the tanks here. I've got the Rogel Dorn here,
You're welcome.
and uh, for my commission, and there was a bit of cleanup that needed to be done. So, like just joins, or where you clip the bit off the sprue.
Yeah.
If you don't clean that up, it leaves little nubs where the sprue was attached. There was quite a few of those around, so I just went around these two models, the Dorn and the Baneblade.
Nice.
So I cleaned those up, drilled out some weapon barrels, just putting some TLC in. Well, some TLC. I've also rediscovered the thing that is the worst part of handling or painting or transporting art of any kind. The fething aerials.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll have to try, and I'm going to finish painting and whatnot and try and repair that as the last thing before.
This is your tank? Because that could just be weapon damage.
Oh, if on my Rogel Dorn, it snapped off immediately, and I left it off as battle damage. This is a commission.
Oh, yeah.
I have to try and save it.
Glue down on after you finish painting. Sub-assembly.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Darklight says, I know the gender of your child has no bearing on how much you'll love them, but I hope they are the one you secretly hope for, even if you'll never say it.
I mean, I'm all right if it's not an alligator. I'm thinking it's going to be an alligator, maybe, or I don't know. I'll still love it.
Which side of the family is that going to come on?
I don't know. Probably me. I'm wearing green. So there it is.
Full transparency. I started on the first layer. I didn't get too far. I started having problems with the airbrush again last night. And let me tell you, 2 weeks in a row of not getting things right with the airbrush is starting to feel like a failure. So I am.
Get yourself a new airbrush, brother.
You know what? I'm going to give you full transparency. I have been having trouble with the Iwata. It has been spraying janky. I got myself a new temporary one, but that one's okay. It's still that is where the problems came. So I have nailed it down to the airbrush, but man, it is just frustrating. It's just like,
yeah,
to take something that you were doing well for years and suddenly fail to do it 2 weeks in a row. That is that feels like failure. I'm not gonna lie. It is hard to stay positive about something that's supposed to relax you and bring you joy when you keep making backwards progress. But I'm trying to keep it positive, but it's starting to feel like a me problem.
It's not a you problem. It is a failure problem, but it's a failure of your devices, not you.
So, yeah, I did order myself a new temporary brush. It does seem to be helping. It is much slower because I didn't realize I ordered myself a 0.3 nozzle instead of 0.5, which is great for airbrushing weapon effects and stuff like that. Not so great for trying to get full coverage on tanks. So it's just going to go a little slower. So that's why now that I've started over again, you're seeing where before I like I said, I was having spray trouble and getting some chunky issues. It's now a much smoother base coat. But you can see after a night's work, I've only got half the tank done. It's still gray on this side and gray and black on this side, and it's kind of camo green on this side. So we're making some slow progress with the 0.3 nozzle. Yeah. So that has been some hobby, and then like on stuff I care about and want to put like focus and pressure, especially since I haven't been doing great with the airbrush. That is what I've been working on, like my focused hobby time. I have been doing some chip away stuff on my desktop for I have these Wolf Scouts sitting in front of me.
Okay.
That I converted up from some Reavers, and I've just been kind of blocking in some color on those. I airbrushed those the same time I airbrushed the Blade Claws a while back. And so I've just kind of been blocking out some colors, started to put down some the blacks and a couple of little bits of gunmetal here and there. Mostly I'd been I did some converting because I took their Reaver weapons off of them, made sure everybody got plasma pistols, and one of them, and the plasma pistols, and the sergeant got a power weapon, which Reavers don't get.
Hmm.
I pulled this power weapon, most of the plasma pistols, and the plasma rifle from
Nice.
the Grey Hunter kit you gave me back in the day.
Mm.
And so some Space Wolf bits coming in clutch there.
I did not give that to you. You bought it full hog.
Well, I
And
mean, I received it from you. So
yeah.
it'll be better now that you have the proper tools, brother. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
The age old meme. Would you love them less if they were an alligator or a worm?
Like as in a dragon worm. I don't know. That's kind of it's a sea alligator. Well, it's like a sea bearing alligator or a yeah. I don't know.
Like a dragon worm would be cool.
Alica dragon worm. Yes.
That was always one of my favorite things to play in Magic the Gathering was a worm, like a dragon style worm deck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've showed this to everyone yet, but Who Took My Dice recently painted their drop pod, which kind of got me inspired to strip and restart my drop pod into new colors. And I got to say, it looks pretty good in the brand red mall colors.
Nice. Yeah.
The only thing is that it looks pretty good closed, but of course, when you play it open, and there's really nowhere to put color in these things except for black and silver. So while they look good now, they're just gonna, I'm pretty sure, just end up being kind of boring, once they're on the tabletop. But it'll be fine.
Yeah.
A couple of things I did get, like not actually sitting and painting wise.
Mm-hmm.
So, my client would like me to do some camo patterns on these tanks. And so I noticed I was down to 1 pack of Silly Putty. I went to go get more. Man, I went to like 2 Walmarts and $3 stores in the area. I've been having trouble finding Silly Putty. And if you order on Amazon, what's normally a $2 pack of Silly Putty is like $7. So it's like, what? And so, anyways, so what I did find at the dollar store, I tried this first, was I saw a children's putty in the dollar store. I was like, well, it's not Silly Putty. Let me give it a try. It is Flarp.
Flarp
putty, and it will. I'm almost positive it will not work because unlike Silly Putty, it has no sticky quality, right? So
yeah, Flarp is fun though. You can make farts out of them. It's great.
I was like, but yeah, because it won't adhere. It won't
yeah, no.
But it has been a good little stress ball for my desk.
Yeah.
So although I have, and my daughter, I think my daughter cursed me, spoke it into existence last night because I'll be stressing and squeezing on it, and then I'll put it back in the tube. And unfortunately, when you put it back in the tube, it makes little fart noises, right?
Yeah.
And it's surprised about ours. Like, I'm going to laugh if you are on one of your meetings one day and your mic isn't muted when you put that up. And sure enough, today during one of my meetings, they were starting to ask me about some of my numbers and stuff like that. So I started messing with my little stress ball, and I was talking about it. And I put it up mid-meeting, forgetting that my mic wasn't muted. Thankfully, nobody said anything. It was just kind of funny.
That's fun.
So, and it smells of blueberries.
That's good.
So since I didn't feel like paying $7 for Amazon Silly Putty, I did see somebody else online using more mounting putty, and I decided to get something less strong than our usual Loctite or the Gorilla stuff. So I just grabbed some Scotch mounting putty, and I'll probably use that unless I happen to come across some more Silly Putty, organic.
Dollar General would have Silly Putty if you have a Dollar General.
Oh yeah, I've been to 3 dollar stores here in the area: 2 Dollar Generals and a Dollar Tree.
Five Below, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, I do have Five Below there. I'll probably check them out.
Yeah.
Something. I don't know if you remember last week me talking about wanting to make a more mecha version of Demon Prince Vashtor. But the wings for Vashtor are like $65 and the model's only $90.
Yeah. You
So
were
it's like
saying.
more than 2/3 of the price. And I happen to see on one of these Gundam sites, Gundam is getting very pronounced in our hobby lately.
Mm.
And I like the very mechanical wing profile here. Not exactly Vashtor, but like if you were to make Vashtor a little more mecha,
Mhm.
I thought that would be pretty cool. And these Gundam parts were much cheaper than a set of Vashtor wings. These were like, instead of $65, these were like $16, or I think not
Mm.
$16.
Mm.
So Blueberry Farts, that was the name of my band in high school, I assume.
Blueberry farts. Well,
So we'll see how, when I go to build this thing, we'll see how that scales and how that ends up looking on the final result. But I think that'll be pretty cool and a heck of a lot cheaper.
yeah.
More Gundam and wargaming, please. Okay, thanks. Heck yeah.
I guess for hobby for me, I have not. Well, I finished one head taker, and yeah, that's pretty much what I've gotten. And I finished one head taker simply because time has been crazy. End of the school year, rushing. I have not been working on my Nova Open project. I got yelled at by a particular Vince, and for not. And I'm taking his advice and just going to do some terrain. But I'll do that after I finish the Space Wolves. Space Wolves, I've been really playing around with something with these head takers. I wanted to change up my glazing technique and try to do more of a non-metallic metal kind of sheen to them, and playing around with the blue paints with that. And when it comes to glazing, that's where Scale 75 really does shine, because you could just use water. You don't have to use medium, because the gel medium is in there. It's not going to let the pigment dissipate. So you can water it all the way down to barely just paint water. You're painting with just basically blue tinted water, and then you slowly bring up the opacity with your brush strokes. So I've been learning how to do that, and then really studying how light reflects off of cylinders as well as circles, because there's a lot of circles and cylinders in Space Marine Army. And if you know how to put the light down and place it perfectly, then it looks realistic. The more you can do that, the more realistic it will look. So I've been studying and I have been playing nonstop 40K with my wife. We played 4 games this month so far.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's pretty good, but it was always Tau versus Space Wolves. I'm the Space Wolves, of course. And she's learning how to do the Tau, so she's learning how to shoot me off the board before I get close. But she's not have been having a good time with that. Like, I've been winning. So I'm gonna take it while it lasts. I'll take it while it lasts. But I don't know. This seems like a really interesting mission. There's a lot of sight lines, and what I needed to do is to get to an objective that she's sitting on with just basically her entire army. And she's just plinking things away. I do get to bring units in from the board edge. So I brought some Terminators on one side and a Wolfen on the other. I have Murder Fang, so I want to get those two together so we can get the aura effect, giving that +1 to hit, I believe, for Bjorn. I'm not sure. Not Bjorn. Murder Fang. That's it. I do have some Gray Hunters because they have the OC3, so I want to power up that. But she blew one unit of them away, as a unit of 10 with a Wolf Priest. And then I have another unit of 10 with a Wolf Priest on the other side coming in. And she's been neglecting that one. So she shot it first turn, killed a couple, but every turn I bring in one back. So
Nice.
yeah. So that's pretty fun. She
Dark
have
Light
some
says, "You've been playing with your wife, sir. This is a family channel."
it is, and that's how families start. Um yeah. So um but yeah, definitely. Her broadsides have guardian drones, so and she has the go to ground rule, and she's already fired Overwatch. Although Overwatch isn't the same, still, yeah, yeah. My wife and I, we look at things and it's like, that's cool. I want to play it. Let's play. Honestly, this is going to be heretical, but we don't even look at the points. If it's cool, we play it. The end.
That's cool.
So yeah, I mean, it's a home game, so I don't want to stress out by making lists stresses me out. That's the part of the hobby I hate. Like some people hate building, some people hate painting. I hate list building.
You know, I love tweaking my lists, and I'm not a good player. It's not like I'm an expert tweaking my lists. Like
Mm.
I I don't know. I just feel like I could just. Sometimes I'll be at the gym listening to like a points tweak or a combo or something like that. Listening to Warhammer videos at the gym, and I'll stop and are you resting for like 2 minutes between sets. I'll take that 2 minutes. I'll break out the phone. I'll adjust some points on one of the units, or what does it what rules or stats does this unit have again? And I'll just mess around with this building. Something I enjoy, and I'm going to have to do a bit more of the list building in the future, but I'll
Mm.
get into that in a minute. Interestingly, though, for someone who doesn't like the building process at all, just wants to get straight to painting,
Yeah.
I actually it was felt kind of zen this week. Stopping and actually doing like don't get me wrong, the client assembled the mostly assembled. It was in sub assembly, like the in respect for what might be easier for me to paint. He actually left the sponsons off, the turret off, um, and a lot of the peripheries, the little guardsmen on top. Which I'm glad. I want to be able to paint the soldiers separately. He left off all the stowage. Tank stowage is just like the extra little griblies for anybody who doesn't know that you can glue onto your tank to make them look more um
Tanky.
yeah add to the immersion a little bit. So like your bedroll, extra planks or tank treads,
Hmm.
ammunition boxes. There's fuel tanks here, if fuel canteens here.
I kind
uh,
of want to paint one of those things up. I see the shovels on the sides. Nice.
yeah, a lot of people love, and these are all glue on. They're not molded on. So like
Hmm.
there's extra little griblies, which I actually enjoyed the process of like taking the time, find all the spots that were just clipper marked and smoothing them out. And by the way, I recently picked up a set of sanding
Sponge.
sticks. Yeah, the little
Yeah.
spongy sanding sticks,
Yeah.
and the
I love that.
sponging texture on these
Mhm.
really makes it a lot easier to get into all your nooks and crannies and get that sanding done nicely. Like I regular sanding sticks, like on the hard cardboard or wood backed ones, like vastly inferior to these spongy ones. Like
Yeah, no.
I think the little bit of give and flexibility just like really lets you get in there and get at any angle. It's like so good.
I bought a 300 pack of them.
Nice.
Different grits. Yeah. Great.
So I actually enjoyed the process of maybe not assembling, but doing the add-on, the sponsons, especially like this one comes with four big ass sponsons, and like just the extra little bit of TLC cleaning and clipping everything and knifing,
Mhm.
shaving. So I actually enjoyed all that. Have a great night, Steve, my brother.
Take care, Steve.
Um, but uh, what I was going to say about all that is what was I? Jeez, skill sets.
That you don't usually enjoy building, but you really enjoyed this process.
Yeah, so that's been a new experience.
Yeah.
That they're new to me because again, I don't normally enjoy the building part.
Well, I mean, the building is less frustrating than the airbrushing right now, so you gotta
You
like
know,
something, right?
that's fair. That's fair. Maybe that's what it was. That because it did feel very zen, and maybe it's just because, like
Welcome
I
to
was
the
having
dark
trouble.
side.
I was having trouble figuring out what I was doing wrong with the airbrushing. This
Mhm.
I know what I need to do. Just look for all the sprue marks, sand, clip, scrape. Okay, you're right. It's probably just like I can get away from the frustration and go to autopilot mode.
Right?
Oh, and the other thing was going back to list building, which I do like. Apparently, I'm going to need adjust some list building for my wolves,
Mhm.
which I guess will is a way to get me into you know painting or I mean using the getting rid of the last little bit of firstborn in my list, Thunderwolf Cavalry,
Mhm.
because I man, I have had some bad luck this past week of things randomly breaking, falling, just whatever. And that includes this week my box full of the Thunderwolf Cavalry. I keep a little chest aside from my infantry because they're too tall to fit in that box. It's like a little plastic chest, magnetized bottom, and I set it on a table. I have this plastic kind of table, utility table, um, and I had set it. I was looking. Oh, and another bit thing, I snapped, but I snapped in a careful manner off one of the sponsons to one of my own tanks because it was glued at a wrong angle. I snapped off the last cannon and it came off cleanly at the break point where you glue it, which is exactly what I was going for. But then I set it down somewhere, and I really feel like I set it down somewhere. Like I think I put it in a container or a baggie or something somewhere and said, I'll put it here so I won't lose it. I'm pretty sure I remember saying that to myself.
Mhm.
Haven't been able to find it all week. Anyways, I'm tearing apart like my desk right now looks like just piles of minis. Like somebody took a bucket of minis and just dumped it across my desk with paints and brushes and other stuff.
Oh my
Just
goodness.
because I tore my whole hobby space and desk apart looking for this thing and made a bigger mess. And then I went over to like where I have my minis and my mini backpack and stuff like that, and was tearing that apart trying to look for it. And pick up my chest of Thunder Wolves, set them on the plastic table. They sit there for about 20 seconds and then slide off of the plastic table. And between the crashing into each other plus the weight of the little metal plate, the little like aluminum sheet or whatever that they're all magnetized to, just busted up my Thunder Wolves. And like most of them are at glue points, the shield here, the arm here, the backpack here. Oddly, I'm not even sure why a backpack popped off. But one of the things that, popped off at like non easy to glue things is like my custom, uh, uh, chaplain or wolf priest on Thunderwolf character that I recently showed off on the channel because I painted him, did some touch up painting on him to take him to the narrative league. He exploded, and things like that custom chaplain flail that I took with like 3 flail hammers. Yeah, like his weapon broke in multiple parts, like where the weapons, like in the middle of the weapon shaft, and then also like just behind the arm where like the arm goes up to the elbow. So the weapon arm is broken in 3 places, and like one of the saddle ripped off of the wolf, the leg broke off of the rider. It's just like I'm pretty sure the character is not salvageable. So I'm probably gonna have to learn to entropy such a bitch sometimes. Yeah. Lots of bad luck this week. I definitely feel like entropy. I have been entropy's bitch for sure. So, anyways, I was a lot of heartbreak and disappointment in that moment of seeing things that I put so many hours into all broken. And I'm pretty sure I could fix most of them, but I'm pretty sure there's no saving the special character I spent a lot of time converting and painting and whatnot, and putting my own kit bash and spin onto. So instead of taking the time to fix them now and whatnot, I'm just going to close up the box and throw them into the closet and deal with it later. It'll be future Mythos' problem. So current Mythos, instead of dealing with that problem, is just going to build more Primaria-centric lists and just not play with the Thunderwolves at the moment. If you don't stop to deal with the things that hurt your feelings, then they can't hurt your feelings. I think you're muted, brother.
There. Is that better?
Yes, that's better.
I grabbed the mic and my thumb hit the mute button.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Exploding minis. I don't know. It always stinks. My Wolfen leader fell off of his, that dude with the claws.
T-pose, yeah.
Yeah, he fell off. And that's significant to me because the reason I painted those specifically is because someone said I can only paint blue armor. And I can't paint blue armor with an airbrush and then subsequently paint skin well. And I said, oh, watch me. So that changed everything. But I spent a lot of time on them and they came out chef's kiss. Like I could put them in competition if I wanted to. Nice. I never did. I need to snazz them up a little more, but yeah, and get a diorama thing because dioramas are the way to go for competitions. But yeah, that happened. It always sucks when something happens to your models, especially if you spent a long time on them. And yeah.
Darklight says, handle it when you have the emotional space. For sure, brother. Thank you very much. I told Atlas about that, and he said the same thing. He's like, oh, man, that sounds so familiar. Because those of you who've been watching the show for a long time probably know Brother Atlas as a friend of the show, as an Imperial Guard player. He used to play Space Wolves back in the day until he had big metal utility shelves and his shelves collapsed and his Space Wolves got sandwiched between heavy metal duty shelves and his wolves got exploded. And so he had a little flashback trauma vicariously through me the other day.
I remember when my shelves collapsed on my Tau army.
Oh, no.
Yeah. That took a while to get it right, but I did. It was while moving. I was moving the shelving unit, and it's a glass shelf, a heavy one too.
Oh,
yeah, it landed right on my riptide, which you can appreciate.
yeah. I mean, no offense, but yeah, I could appreciate it.
Well, the riptide saved all the other models, so it did its job.
It was a sacrifice.
It was
willing to make. It was really great and good.
It was.
One other thing here before we move on. So video game wise, I have really come to have a love-hate game with Fallout and and by proxy Bethesda in general. Because I've had
I work in that area now. Like my job is just like 5 minutes away from Bethesda.
So their game is so fun, so rich in story. The gameplay is such a good fun loop. It is the jankiest piece of programming held together by duct tape and dreams. And I have had this game die on me so many times there is a known fast travel bug that sometimes I just can't fast travel without the game freezing. So my wife will actually have to go into the files and switch around zeros and ones once in a while to let me be able to fast travel again without crashing the system. Or sometimes it'll just randomly crash my system for no reason. And another, of course, known glitch. Sometimes when you're doing settlement building stuff, it uses more resources, and for some reason will just tank your system and crash it then. And that feels like extra bullshit because when you're like, if it tanked on normal like combat stuff, sure, it might be a little frustrating. You might have to go in and clear out a place again. But if you are in a rhythm of the game where you're not having trouble killing stuff, a fast travel, you like doing missions, fast travel here, kill these people, or I should have said that like that. Defeat these enemies in the area.
You're terrible.
I just feel like I'm gonna get there's this video might be banned or something like that. I've had apparently when
Is it tallied?
Maybe. Apparently that happened to Gamers with Coffee once when they were talking about how I think Ashley said her Votan or her Nids were gonna kill Keegan's Votan or something like that. And they had like a banning issue. But anyways, I may be misquoting, but something like that. Anyways, so yeah, if it were just a random combat mission, get quest, fast travel here, take out these people or retrieve this item, come back. Freezing up there wouldn't feel so bad because you just go do that part again. But something that like is painfully detailed, like doing your settlement stuff, building another house for your settlers, putting in, 30 new beds and trying to find the space for all that, meeting their water requirements, planting more food, opening up trade. I had one crash after I popped into a settlement for a fast travel, and it was like, hey, the population at this settlement boomed by like 20 people. So you went from having 9 people here to almost 30. You need way more food and beds here. I'm like, okay. So it took me like, 30 minutes plus it hadn't saved for like 30 minutes before that. And so it was like just a ton of stuff, including 30 minutes of the very tedious, like working on my settlement.
Mm-hmm.
And just as I put down the last thing, okay, I should have saved, but like I was like, okay, I did all the stuff to make my red bars go to green, right? Saying that your settlement's in the green, people are happy, life is good here. Okay. And I was like, oh, somebody brought a cow with them. Let me put down a little feed trough for this Brahmin here, so that way they'll have a safe space to eat. As I go to put down the feed trough for the Brahmin, which is a Brahmin is for those people who don't know Fallout, is a 2-headed cow. That's all it is. I put down a feed trough for it, and literally as I'm in the middle of placing the feed trough, it just freezes up, and I'm like, oh God, when's the last time I saved? Never, apparently. It didn't even like between going through any doorways or auto saving. There was not one save, and my entire like hour plus of playing today. And I was like, I love and hate this game so much. But again, I do love the game, and my wife and I have been enjoying the show. And Gamers with Coffee, by the way, let me put in our little code coffee. Gamers with Coffee now has an affiliate with Bones Coffee Company, and they do all kinds of custom themed coffees, including Fallout, The Mandalorian, and Gamers with Coffee is now an affiliate with them. So
I got a bathroom.
Okay. I apparently this message is too long. This message is too long to get the code or the link. So give me 1 second and I will paste it. That's not good. I feel like I just felt a water drop on my head, and I live in an apartment. All right. Let's see. Copy link. If you're playing on PC, I wonder if the unofficial patch fixes that. That's a good question. All right, there's the link to the Bones coffee if you guys would like to try some Bones coffee. This one is a Fallout coffee called Rocky Route 66 with notes of Rocky Road, natural Rocky Road flavors. This brew combines flavors of rich coffee, sweet chocolate, marshmallow, and roasted nuts, like a Rocky Road sundae that grew up in the wasteland. It's smooth, a little wild, and just sweet enough to keep you going. Whether you're chasing the horizon or tearing through the wreckage, this is your ride or die fuel. The road's torn to hell. A rad scorpion's on your six, and the heat is brutal. Good thing you've got Rocky Route 66 riding shotgun. Praying for no leakies. Yeah, thank you. That felt weird. Dark light for coffee and anime in the morning. You want me to bring this over? We can break it open. Hasn't even been unsealed yet. Just got delivered a little earlier today. All right. So, yeah, fairly large hobby update all around.
Photoshop sucks at cropping images. You would think it's simple. No, you need a degree in science in order to, crop an image in Photoshop.
Is there a specific size you're trying to get?
You have to memorize all the editions of Warhammer and every profile without looking at a picture, and that would be easier than cropping on Photoshop. All right. No, it's just very frustrating. You want to do this one simple thing, and you have an entire encyclopedia to find this one word, needle in a haystack, in order to do it. And that just slows progress down to getting reborn and getting up to my age before I can actually figure it out. 52 years in order to figure out how to crop one image on Photoshop. Seems about reasonable to them, and they charge whatever they want. It's $1,000 a year, and that's with a discount.
Oof.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know what? I was
just my salt. I get salty too. All right, go ahead.
Brother Rob gets salty.
Oh heck yeah!
I was just talking about your coffee, Brother Greg. So it's like I summoned thee by speaking of your coffee. You speak of coffee, and gamers with coffee shall appear. And Darklight typed the magic word in, so that should do the thing. Unless it was too soon after I did it. But Gamesburg, good to see you, my friend. Sun's out, guns out. It's hot here in Texas, and also my new car doesn't have AC. New used car doesn't have AC, so. Yeah, I've been warm today, like really warm, a little roasty.
That's much better.
There we go. Oh, right. It does the thing, but Nightbot's full, so I have to post it separately. Okay, so yes, I was actually just talking about Gamers with Coffee and their affiliate with Bones Coffee Company, and because I really enjoy the game and the TV show Fallout right now, and I've decided to try Bones's Rocky Route 66. Haven't even opened yet. Darklight and I are going to try it in the morning. Is it hot there, or is it hot because you're there? Little column A, little column B. All right, we got some news to get through. Although, I know it's about your bedtime. Do we have time for any articles tonight, brother?
Yeah, it's
one or two.
We started late, so okay. I can continue.
Okay, we'll do a couple. I don't want to hold you up too long. One of my favorite bits, though, is and I didn't see a Warhammer article for this. I may have just missed it because I'm blind sometimes, but I do have the picture here for this. Is the return of a character known as Ciaphas Cain or Ciaphas Cain. I've heard it pronounced both ways, but listening to the audiobook lately, I think it's Ciaphas. But yes, so it's interesting. They've released 3 new Commissar models recently, 4 if you include the version of Graves in and outside of her new vehicle. And that I'm hoping that means that Commissars are going to be good in 11th edition.
Except for Yarick, who gets buffed. I mean, who gets nerfed.
He gets nerfed. I think he'll still be pretty good. He's still good for a Commissar, but it's got to suck to be nerfed on day one of you being out with your rules, you know? Like, what? It's getting hot here, too. Not looking forward to summer. Summer's been brutal lately. Greg is driving, so I took the phone, Mythos. Well, hello to you, too, Ashley.
Hey, Ash.
But, and because I know Ciaphas Cain is one of, it's a lot of people's favorite Commissar, but one of my friends and patron of the show, the Commodore of Dorn. Commodore is been a fan of Ciaphas for a while, so and as one of my longest running patrons, I may actually pick up that model to do a little something. We'll see.
Nice.
But he is a very cool looking Commissar, very haughty. And I actually wasn't familiar with his book. And so I started listening to his first one, which is funny because I bought it a while back and never got around to reading it. But I just picked it up and started listening to it this week at the gym, which is nice. Selling on one set of rules and then nerfing them as soon as they come out. He says that feels like such a bait and switch, literally illegal in gacha games. Yeah, and a lot of people feel the same way. And of course, a lot of people are like, balance changes are very common in the meta of Warhammer, and power ebbs and flows. And okay, but I understand, and don't get me wrong, I
enjoy bending over while James I'm sorry, what's his name?
Yeah, so and I'd like to hear more people's take on that, because some people would rather have the balance, which is, a valid, especially if you're a tournament player or something like that. But I think, and I felt some of this too. I almost put it in my news clip, by the way. I think everybody here knows it because I was very proud, and I made sure to share this with everybody and their mamas. Don't ask me how I got your mama's phone number. But I shared with everybody that I started a new segment this week called Week in Warhammer, and I mentioned the power nerf, and I'd like to hear everybody's take on that. Thank you very much.
I loved it. That was awesome. I didn't expect it. I saw that you put a lot of hard work into it, and it came out amazing.
Thank you. I picked up a couple new pieces for that to try and improve it even more. I just wanted to try and test the theory of it before I spent any money,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I was mentioned in that, and I almost put it in my little news clip. But it kind of reminds me of when you and I got our codex.
Yeah, Wolf. Yeah,
the Wolf Priest was supposed to buff all the guns on your tank,
right?
And then they also got a day one nerf before the codex came out. Actually, no, they only buff one gun now, which is again an understandable thing, especially if you were like something on a repulsor executioner with 100 guns on it, and they all get one extra shot,
Yeah.
or if it's like a predator tank, so your 4 plasma or las cannons is now like 8 las can, or well, I guess technically it would have been like 7 las cannons. I understand some of these things need to be adjusted. However, if you make sales based on previews of rules, that is your advertising of said product, right?
Yes.
And I feel like if you nerf it without giving any time for that to be played,
what a literal flap. And I'm not saying flap. That's
yeah, it's like that is false advertising.
It is.
And so yeah, I can definitely see why Darklight's like, where he compares it to gacha games where it's illegal. It's like if you made sales based on that preview, allow at least a little time for that rule to have effect, right?
10 years before they switch models. 10 years.
And I know that that used to be the case. Like, people were like, well, Warhammer used to never make balance changes. And no, I'm not saying I want that to where, you get one broken army and it's always broken. I'm just saying, like, if we spent our hard-earned money based on the preview you gave us, then yeah, let us have the thing. So yeah, I didn't pick up a Commissar yet because I do want one as a painting project, but I have so many Commissars already. Did I pick one up yet? No. Am I feeling the anger about it? No. But on principle, though, I feel like if you took our money based on one assumption or one preview, then let us have that rule for a little bit. Anyways,
I've done this thing that it's called don't really trust Games Workshop, and 2, play the game you want to play with the person you want to play it with.
Fair.
If something is ridiculous, remember when Firstborn was 1 wound, but Primaris was 2 wounds?
Mm-hmm.
I said that's bull nonsense. They're both 2 wounds. Period. Like if you have stuff and Firstborn, they're 2 wounds too.
Fair.
Because that's ridiculous. And then next edition, there were 2 wounds. And everybody's like, oh, you can't have them 2 wounds. You can't. Games Workshop said. And I'm like, how much have you been sucking from their teat? Anyway,
and even then, like, I don't mind balance changes later. In that case, they gave almost a full edition of the previewed better rules for Primaris before they said, okay, you can also have 2 wounds.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah,
if they had just said day 1, like what if they had made the sale saying all Primaris are getting 2 wounds and all Firstborns are going to be 1 wound, and then they took your money and they're like, psych, they're all going to get 2 wounds. You'd feel a little gypped, wouldn't you?
Yeah, they gave it some time, but yes. So, they essentially did it, but just did it over a long period.
I feel like in order for something to be considered a balance change and not false advertising, some time has to exist with that rule.
That's true.
But don't get me wrong, I'm not one of these people who just wants to hate on Games Workshop and whatnot. Like, I thought, like, okay, that's a pretty good initiative, and it's probably good that they're doing the balance. However, there is on this thing. I feel like maybe they shouldn't have,
I don't think they have playtesters anymore. Why? When the tournaments are going to do it anyway, right?
All right. Ciaphas Cain, I agree, Gamesburger, decent looking sculpts. It does have like the very, on one hand, it has the heroic look of him.
Mm-hmm.
Although I gotta say, there's something a little off, a little uncanny valley.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just me, or does his face look a little Planet of the Apes?
Definitely. I was about to say he was part of the monkeys. That's the group, and they love monkeying around. It's the beard. You see, in the picture itself, like he has a little bit of mutton chops.
Yeah.
Look how far away from the chin it is.
Yeah.
Over here, it's framing his face butt. I mean, his chin.
Yeah, and also it's just so wide, which I
You
admit,
know,
like, it probably is hard to get a sculpt that reads mutton chop without making it so big from that, from that small detail.
if you stare at her, looks like male genitalia.
Gosh. But I do like that he's got the Spartacus chin there,
And I love the other guy. He looks like his name would be Mungo.
his
This
name is
Mungo.
Jurgen.
Jorgen the Mungo. I do like that.
And apparently he is considered by many to be the ugliest and smelliest trooper they've ever known.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Which he finds useful for keeping people away from him.
I mean, Nurgle will love him.
Also, it's funny because
Death Guard be like, one of us.
he uses the aid in this way to keep because he's super loyal, but also he loves that he keeps people away from him when he's not feeling like engaging.
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat, but also like he likes that keeping him around makes him look more more respectable.
When you have your friends that are not delightful looking only because it makes you look better. What is that? Is that a thing? There's only one in a group that everybody hangs out with to make everybody else feel better about themselves. Unfortunately, it's terrible, but it happens.
In theory, if they can do that, they can make a habit of releasing a unit that's really busted for a bit just to make the sales, the nerf or balance them after they make their money.
But haven't they been doing that?
I was about to say, honestly,
ever?
So Darklight doesn't currently play, and honestly, that is what happens a lot here. Darklight,
yeah,
is
every
like
codex
right now.
drop.
Yeah, there's not like every unit that drops, but like they'll pick one or two key things to be pretty strong, and they'll make a bunch of sales of that. Like currently, the new Chaos Demon engine, the Defiler, is very strong. It has been in 2 or 3 times in almost all tournament topping lists lately. There have been some outliers. Oh, me too. I definitely want one for my Iron Warriors now. There have been some outliers where, like, Eldar did one, and Gene Stealer Cult got one. But overall, there have been some without him. But most of the tournament lists, like Defiler Chaos lists, had a 60% win rate this last weekend, which is crazy. So they are the top of the meta right now, and so they'll usually do that. And then after they make some money, they'll do a balance patch. So, we need to adjust the game, which makes sense. But like that is kind of the current thing, is that the new hotness comes out, makes a lot of money, and eventually, like their time in the sun wanes a little bit. But yeah, but for this to happen, where again, at least they got some time to use their rules in most cases. But for this to happen and then get nerfed before you even hit the tabletop is kind of crazy. All right, we'll move on to our next article. I picked some specifically things like art showcases that I wouldn't normally go over myself. Just for you, because I know you like those, and also as someone who's very educated art-wise.
That's why I needed an extra half hour. I wrote notes on it.
I
was like, I got to do my research. I have not done the research, and I don't want to come in looking like, well, I don't know.
But before we jump into the community painting, I'm going to jump over to the channels of the week, because the first one is, I think I've talked about Darcy Bono Creations before.
Mm-hmm.
However, there is a new thing she posted on her channel, and I just think it looks amazing, and I think it's worth people checking out her channel again. So this is not actually one of her videos; it's posts by Darcy Bono. And of course, the channels of the week are always listed in the description below. You guys can check
I love
that out.
her camo that looks like it's on fire.
Yeah,
that's really cool. But it really does look like the floor. Like, I don't know if that's supposed to be a glowing cape, or is it embers and it's literally on fire.
I think it's supposed to be camo to the lava floor.
That's so cool.
So yeah,
It looks amazing. It really does pop. She did a really good job with that.
incredible.
Yeah.
Also, I really like just this scheme, the color scheme for guard in general. I was thinking about doing some red and black for my scions because of some artwork I'd seen, but that was a much more vibrant because it's kind of like rich dark red with the black is kind of neat too. Anyways, I'm getting off topic here, but like, yeah,
I might.
the
I
camo
might.
is amazing, but also looking at the details in the faces, the 5 o'clock shadow here,
Yes.
the skulls on the pauldrons, you can see that there is, it's not just yellow, there's some shades and highlights to it. Like, you can see the darker areas towards the bottom and a little bit dark here at the top, but then like a nice bright spot across the eyes here.
Mhm.
There is yeah, lots of really great stuff. You can see that the scars have some depth to them. Like those little details, like the 5 o'clock shadow, the depth of the scars,
Yeah.
the little gem effect that I can never get right on the
Really?
sensor here.
I think I did a couple of video. I did a video on lenses. If you're interested in that one,
It's
a
not.
simple video on lenses.
I have watched them, and I've watched many videos on them.
Mhm.
I don't think I have the eyesight to be able, like, for me, it's
Oh.
like that's why I do my gemstones the way I do. It's just like one fluorescent color because like being able to do like the wolf gems, for instance,
Mhm.
I can't make the smaller shapes in those shapes. Just my eyesight, or I do
Mhm.
not have the eye hand coordination. Like I'm like I don't understand. That's my entire brushstroke is that gem. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't. I guess I don't have that. Uh, I don't know if eyesight's the right way to describe it, but like I can't make a stroke that small.
It was Big Child Creatives. His name is Alfonso Gilderas. That's who it is. Amazing artist.
Yeah.
I took a class with him, and I was struggling with my brush strokes and how thick they were. And he showed me this technique. Now it's not mine; it's his, where he takes the object and he said, "Let's do a straight line." I'm like, "Okay." He takes a panel and he just hovers the brush on top, and he slowly, like a pendulum, gets closer and closer and closer until it barely touches and leaves this little line. And he says, "Stop. See that line? That's the pressure you need to practice. So keep doing the pendulum until your hand memorizes just how light you need to touch in order to do small details, like on the glimmer on an eye or something like that." And I'm like, what? So it's just you take the piece. I don't have any models next to me. And you slowly lower the brush tip until it barely touches the object. And that's the sweet spot. So if you're practicing that, after a while, you take up a mini and you'll just do the same thing and get really close and do whoop. Okay, I got it.
That's
And
really
it's
interesting.
yeah, well, that's what he taught me, and I've been using it ever since, like that. And I think it was Ninjan, yeah, John Minas. Um, he also did something on. He taught a class, and he mentioned that a lot of people didn't know that you are barely touching the actual model with the brush, like you're almost not touching it, and that's how you make the brush strokes. And I'm like, oh, he said, live in that zone. It's hard, but after like, if you have a whole bunch of infantry, you're looking down the barrel of 30 miniatures, perfect time to practice. Because if you mess up, they're infantry. You know, that's why I like painting infantry. I do. That's why I paint massive amount of infantry now, is because it's like I can make a mistake. You're not going to notice it. There's 30 of them. You're not going to notice it. So I just keep on and practice and try new things with that. Now, if you have like a main sculpture, it has to look amazing, right? You cannot make mistakes. So the tension is actually higher than it is on infantry, which is lower. So I can play around with the paint and knock air, and sometimes it comes out good, sometimes it comes out good. You know?
That's just some really great tips, really.
No, I mean just what I've learned, some wisdom. I don't know. I hope it works. So you can always get better at what you do. Maybe that'll be the one thing you practice for this entire project is getting a lighter touch with your brush.
Baby.
Do you have any of those magnifying glasses?
I have some of the same ones you have,
Yeah.
but I can't seem to use them with my glasses. They just so.
Oh, do you have bifocals?
Huh.
Oh, I take my glasses off when I use them.
Oh yeah, I tried that too. It didn't help because
Really?
for me it's astigmatism.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm so sorry.
It's all good.
Oh goodness.
I was hoping it would help, but it just unfortunately didn't work.
They do sell those magnifiers with the light around it.
Oh yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
So Darcy, Bono, everyone, check her out. Lots of really good stuff. Not only, of course, this I thought like this project, this Lava Land camo was worth highlighting.
Yeah.
However, she's got lots of great stuff on her channel. You know, the wolf spear. The last video was 6 months ago, but like the wolf spear is one of hers that I really enjoy. I think she's still doing shorts, if I remember correctly. It's hard to see. Well, the Red Terror is still here, so that's pretty recent. So apparently, she's still making shorts content, just not long form content.
Yeah, she's not very tall. Terrible.
Is she one you've met in person?
No, I have not met this person in person.
No, I just know you.
I just reach out to people.
Oh yeah. Oh no, just because I know you've been to the conventions.
Yeah.
I want to say she also does Twitch. That's why I'm looking. Oh no, she. I thought she was one of the ones that did Twitch too. I must be mistaken.
Oh goodness.
Okay, and then the other one before we move on, while we're doing channels of the week, is Threes to Wound. This is a comedy YouTube shorts.
I love them.
Yeah, they're pretty. And I think, gosh, he does such a great job of conveying how some of us feel in the hobby all the time. Replace. There we go. Especially some of the reactions he gets from his wife are, I think, how some of us feel like when we have to, how some of us think our significant others may react to our hobby or hobby spending.
Well, that last one that you sent me is a parody of a couple of. There's other videos for other genres apparently. They say, "Oh, I want more shoes," and the other person just dumps the shoes on.
Oh yeah, that is something that he's definitely very good, or they are definitely very good at, is finding the really, kind of viral TikTokish trends, but then making them 40K.
Yeah, this is smart. Yeah, dude is funny. And she's funny too. Yeah,
they make a great duo.
The safety, I love that
one. There's one of like, just nope.
Yeah.
I was trying to mute it real quick because
I'm going to the game.
Did you come up with an awesome pause to work? Do you reckon my tank here? Pause to work. Did you come up?
Okay.
Careful, don't get sued. Don't get sued.
Yeah. Okay.
That one with the girl with the wife on the floor.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to the game. Steps over. Keeps going to the game.
That was hilarious.
Painting on the ball.
You can't let anything get in your way when you're on your way to a game.
Oh my gosh.
Also, how it feels to return home after losing at 40K.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
It's just funny though. I'm not saying that everybody should go home and cry to their wife, but
well, some people do. Some people take it very seriously. Scary.
All right. I'm gonna quickly do the. I think this is the one. Nope, that's Spectre Squad. City of Ash. That is the one. So I know of all the. Well, I figured of all the painting ones, you'd probably enjoy seeing your sneaky boys.
Yes. All right. So let's get into City of Ash. And with the oldies, I like to pick out my favorites. My favorite one, I mean, Naira, Nyara from Voz de Sigmar, which is the voice of Sigmar. That one right there. I like how subtly the green reflects from the bottom up. So you see the tabards going down and you see the green from the blue. And that's actually the crystal light coming in. It's a very, very nice OSL effect. That's not like poppy. It's very subtle. And the way she, I think, included the triad of green. So you have green on the bottom, and then you have it on the knives, which makes an inverted triangle. And that's very pleasing to the eye when you're painting, you having those triangles. So that's really good. Composition of the model itself, having the triangle, having the two tendrils of cloak going down with the face and the pointed up, whatever that is. Is that a bone or is that a sword? I'm not sure. On the top of his head. But yeah, that's really, really pleasing. And the rust effects, she did a really good job with that. And I'm really impressed with her work. It seems like Voz de Sigmar is in Spanish. It could be Italian, but Voz is voice of Sigmar, de Sigmar. And it says La Voz de Sigmar. So I would think she's a female because L is masculine and La is feminine. And she's referring to herself being the voice of Sigmar. So there's a lot. I really analyze things. But
awesome.
I really like her. I really like her work. Yeah, I definitely should reach out to her and see what other things that she's painted and maybe have her on the show. But yeah, I like that little crystal on the bottom too.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. I think the OSL underlighting from the crystal light source is a really great touch. I mean, OSL is always a pleasing eye draw, but also like it helps immerse the character in their environment that they've created. So, which is really neat.
And look at that contrast poppy color of that magenta. That's
I love, especially like. Yeah. I love magenta against blue,
Yeah, she did a really good job with that. I'm very impressed. And of course, Vinci V's is going to be up there as well. But he does his Rats Red. As far as I know, he has about 20,000 points of Skaven and constantly building. And that's his baby. Skaven are his baby. He may or may not play them, but he must buy every Skaven that ever comes out and paint them to the nines too. Really good. Does not have the OSL lighting from underneath, but has a nice shadow contrast with that. He pushes his, instead of pushing his red with a highlight color to orange, he does it with like a flesh tone red. Which I really like. It's like a pinkish, but it's not like bubblegum pink. It's very skin tone pink. So looking at the edge highlights on all of his cloaks. And the blue floor on the bottom, that turquoise, what is that called? Verdigris on the bottom really does contrast with the red cloaks and stuff like that. However, that being said, to me, they're ninjas, and ninjas don't wear red. The only thing I could think of is that they were like Storm. What is that G.I. Joe model? It's not Snake Eyes. It's the other guy.
Storm Shadow,
right. He's a ninja that wore all white. So the only thing I can think of is that they wore all white and they had so much blood of their enemies that, it tainted the robes, which is a cool story.
That is cool. Feel bad losing to someone else? Try losing to yourself in a solo game. I've been there, brother. Been there.
Well, you lose and win. So I play solo games sometimes just so I can understand the rules. Because, it's so... To me, I barely understand 10th edition. So I don't know if 11th edition will click with me because it's giving more rules. So I don't know. I confuse easily.
Now, I know you prefer the more sneaky ninja kind of look. One thing that really strikes me about Vince's Skaven, and I think it's one of the things that really makes it like really almost gives it a really wow factor to me is, Skaven are often seen as the underhanded, kind of type in their lore and stuff like that. However, going with the bright red cape,
oh yeah, they're heroes.
The white underclothing, almost very heroic. Bright steel armor, they're painted as heroes here. Even got like a little bit of it does feel like very knightly, very heroic look to them, with the white underclothing and the red cloak and the bright steel, almost like an army of, paladins or soldiers or something like that. So,
and he does have Age of Sigmar has Stormcast Eternals, but he has Ratcast. He does have an entire army of Ratcast Eternals, which is all converted.
I was about to say he committed to the theme, huh?
He did. Well, like I said, he loves his rats, and he loves painting female models. So his sisters, are pretty epic. But I don't think he posts his sisters. Yeah, these are really nice.
Guinevere.
Pampa. Yeah, so those are my two favorites. I figured if we're going to go to our ones, I'll just pick up my favorites. I don't know what your favorites are, but pretty cool.
Razzie, we got to get you a Guinevere miniature. All right. Next one. Bugs or soldiers?
We could do the Red Terror.
The Red Terror. Accidentally put it on the Red Terror and then closed out the window.
Oh no.
Okay, there we go.
All right. You seem tired too. Okay, so my favorites. I think it's one over from Andy Farrell's. Yeah, there it is, Luke. Lukey Khan.
I just watched a video he did about this model earlier.
Yeah, I love the snake tail. Like, look at the diamonds on those things. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing. And how he used those colors on the tendril too, the yellows, subdued, and how his eyes are glowing red. I don't know if there's enough contrast with the glowing red eyes to the pink body, because it seems like they're similar and not very contrasty, but the base looks amazing and his diamonds are epic. I love that. I wanted to build Marathi and do a snake tail for her, or maybe I'll get a chance to do it on a vagina tail. What is his name?
Fulgrim? You mean Fulgrim?
Full of something. Yes, I always call him the other word. That's his official name. But there it is. Fulgrim. Yes. I might do it with him. But yeah, that's really cool. Another one that I really like is Dennis Rupert. And that's the black one if you go down.
Okay, I'm just kind of scrolling through. Ooh, I like the vibrancy on this one.
Yeah, it is right. And you can always tell me what your favorite is too.
Right now, the snake one is amazing, but so far I like Chris Frozen's. Just this pure like saturation and contrast here is really doing it for me.
Nice. There's Dennis. A couple of things that I really like there. Now, this was achieved with stippling, because I blew it up and I saw the little dots. But that stippling really makes it look reflective, and the reflection is that verdigris kind of blue, which I really, really like. He's using plants from Gamer's Grass because I have both of those plants in tufts, 3 plants in tufts, which I like to see that on a base because it projects it. But he really did the black that it looks shimmering. It looks like very xenomorph. If xenomorphs were standing by a blue green light. I think he really did a great job with that. And I would love to see his other work. His mouth itself, it looks very organic. It doesn't look fantasy like. It looks very realistic.
I took this the other way. Instead of looking like he's around a blue green light, almost as like it's self-reflecting that way, like a chitin on like a dung beetle or something like that, where you get that kind of like blue green shimmery.
Oh, right. Yeah, I can see that. And he did add it towards the one on the bottom as well. But it's always coming from one direction, so maybe there's a light and it is that shimmering kind of armor. So it's a white light and it's just reflecting back that shimmery. It could be that way too. And if you go one over, it's the Joker.
Oh yeah. Jewel Knight, yes. I always like her work.
Yeah. Jesse, what I'm not. Jessica, what I'm not.
Must be some kind of Joker.
That's very vibrant.
That is very vibrant.
Mm-hmm.
I like the color combination.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, blue and yellow is very pleasing. This seems understated.
Although, like, very, very effectively gross.
Oh yeah, like mold is definitely like he left this model in the refrigerator too long. It's been 3 weeks and started to grow the mold on it. But it does look like mold. His reds are very not very contrasty, but this is tabletop quality. That's fine.
Well, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very monocolored. Yeah, same. Like very limited color palette. And the greens, I like the green spittle that comes out of this one because it's like glowing green. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like the claws on this. They look very bony.
There's a painter from my local shop that paints up their Tyranids in like a synth wavy coconut crab kind of color.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited to see what he does with this.
You got to check out Boucher's Edgelords. They are next level.
What?
They really are. The contrast is just very comic book style. I think you would enjoy them very much. Actually, he's selling his. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's selling it. He only has 2 armies at a time. And if he wants to build another one, he sells the last one. So it can only have 2 armies at a time.
So he's like got the Sith rule of 2.
Yes, that's exactly it.
I like the sparklies here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then one more bit of art. Doing an art-heavy episode because they've been doing some really good-looking work on the new miniatures lately.
Absolutely.
The Spectre Squad.
Specterizing these stuff. Okay. So with the Spectre Squad, there's a lot of people who did a really great job. I like the camo on this because it has little dots of white, and I like the little dots of white. That's so cool. The yellow really pops on this one here.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's interesting how, what is normally kind of a muted secondary color can really make a difference in a scenario like this, though.
Mm-hmm.
This camo, though.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Like the background over here. My favorites of the Spectre Squad, starting off with Stuart Mack, Marko Milanovic, and Juan Sanz are my favorites for these. The clothing is really good, but the metal on the upper right-hand side for that barreled gun doesn't really look reflective. I guess they could have punched that up a little bit, but everything else looked like the greens and the texture of the clothing looks so good. Yeah, he did a really great job of that. And then he has that glowing lens.
On this one?
Oh yeah, look at that neon green glowing lens.
Yeah.
Very, very Spec Ops.
It makes me think of a Splinter Cell.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly that, with the 3 lights. It went a little too heavy on the primer on that one. The faces on this Stuart Mack, this is one of mine that I like. Look at the contrast on how he went into the highlight. It's almost white, right? He goes from that dark pink all the way to almost white with his reflections on the skin. It is absolutely stunning. It's very, very vibrant. It pops, and it really pops because everything else is subdued because it's camo. And the flame bloom looks all right. I like that one too. I would have included blue, but that doesn't seem like there's any blue on the miniature. So I see why he just went red, yellow. I get that because the yellow of the cloak ties it in, and the ground, it has a little bit of red into it, and the faces itself, pink is red and white, so red really does play into that. So this is one of my favorites. Phenomenal job. I want to make sure he's Craft World Studios, of course. No. He's Miniature Realms. I'm sorry. Yeah. All right, there's the other one. There's another one that is Marko Milanovic. He's from Craft World Studios. I love that he used such a limited color palette. There's not a lot of colors here. There is purple, which he could have mixed with a little bit of white, and there is red and yellow. That's pretty much it with white. There's really not a lot of colors because you don't see skin tones and you don't see non-metallic metal. You just see it in darkness. He's in. Yeah.
You don't even know what color he's wearing. Like, this is like a completely environmental paint job.
Exactly.
Clearly, he's in the dark of night somewhere. There's a lamp or something overhead. Like, this is clearly environmental, coloring here, which is cool. And very cool.
That tells you that color choice sometimes matters, but not really. Like, you could make effects look cool without like getting the color of the cloak, getting the color of the knee pads. You can make something look cool. You can do an entire army like this if you wanted to, just with like minimum amount of colors.
Although I gotta say, like, it probably looks cool on a couple of display pieces, but I wonder, like, if you put them up army wide, you put them on the tabletop, you get into the game, they're no longer facing the same direction. Your light sources are all in weird locations. I wonder if they look disjointed then.
To me, the models are avatars. But that's just me.
Oh, no, not it's just like as avatars. I'm just saying because, like, when you're gaming, they're not always going to be facing the same direction, so you're not going to get that lighting effect. So I wonder if all masked up in a game like that, it loses its, environmental lighting effect and looks more like, purple with red and yellow top down. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if that would bother you, I can imagine you just have to face them all in the same direction the entire game.
Every time you do your movement phase, you all angle the sunlight, or the light at 10 degrees north or whatever.
I mean, that's what you get for wet blending and throwing it. Like, I can't imagine it took him long to do this.
Fair.
Like, yeah. So
that's what I'm saying. It looks bad. I'm just
it looks
you
amazing.
Mentioned it being army wide. Yeah, it looks phenomenal. Just when you mentioned it being army wide, I was like, how would that look army wide? Like, it looks great on a single piece. It looks very dramatic and artistic.
Yeah.
but I wonder what the effect would look like, and it might be good. I'm not sure what would it look like all raked up. Very cool.
My last choice would be Juan Sanz, and I think you'll know who that is. Very cool.
I think we went with AdMech heads on all these. I guess
they are AdMech heads.
Yeah, I guess for the to go for kind of like the stealth recon kind of vibe.
There is Juan Sanz right there.
Oh, El Miniaturista.
That's right. There's one. His gun reflections, the way he does non-metallic metal, the rust, the skin tones to die for. The clothing, it's okay. It's really good. It's really good, but is it El Miniaturista good? Is the question. It's good. I don't know. I've seen him do fibers before, and they come out better. But this is an amazing piece. This is definitely a showpiece.
Oh, for sure.
When I say something about somebody else's work, is because I'm imagining painting it itself and how much time it took him. Because as far as his skin, like on his forearm, I would have to study some more to get that effect. That's so good. That is so good. But if I can accomplish the clothing, then that's my level good. That's not El Miniaturista level good,
Fair.
That's what I'm saying. If I can see and I can accomplish it, and I say, "Oh, I know how you did that. That's not so bad." Then maybe it's just me putting them on a pedestal. It's like either that or I'm getting better. Who knows? Who knows? But yes, Juan Sanz. I can do the entire interview in Spanish. That'd be great. That's interesting.
Notley paints. Oh, very interesting, like just
different
very
colors,
vibrant colors on the.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of the Raiders in Fallout.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Of course, El Miniaturista, always a favorite.
Oh yeah.
Some other ones I like the way that Cult of Paint and Andy did theirs, just because of one of my favorite regiments of all time, the Tanith First and Only. As a fanboy of Gaunt's Ghosts and the Tanith, I like those. But I think my non-El Miniaturista favorite one is I really like just the way overall look of these.
Yeah. You see the clothing? It's just shimmers. Like they did such a good job with the clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Especially the guy in front, the bottom. I'm looking at his legs. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 coats of green. 4 different colors of green on one pant leg. That's amazing.
And then real quick, in our last couple minutes, I just want to, because it's on the thumbnail, take
speeders and orcs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we don't even have to do the orcs if you don't have time for it.
I just, cleave is interesting. Getting extra attacks is good, and having a big boss as a lieutenant, that's pretty neat.
Fair.
But those are the 2 points that I have for orcs.
Okay. So
look at that.
This is the speeders throughout the ages.
Wait.
And
sorry, I couldn't help it.
The very first Rogue Trader Land speeder. You know what's funny is
looks like a ride at an amusement park, really.
People make fun of Brother Tinnitus, right? And people make fun of how exposed people, like in
the ATV.
The ATV.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the Invictor tactical warsuit.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they're like, why would you be so exposed? And don't get me wrong, I feel that I have 2 Invictor tactical warsuits, and I've covered mine. I put a canopy on them because I was like, why wouldn't you put a canopy on this? However, just listening to those complaints, but then these are always also the same people that complain about how far Warhammer has strayed from its original art style. And I just want to say to those people, how exposed
Now the question is, because painting has evolved so much, would you be able to pull off that paint style?
No.
Really?
No. I'm not even sure I would.
Because I can see how they did it. Like I can see the edges. I can see where
I can see the edges. And honest, the way they freehanded the shoulder pad, I don't think so for sure.
The cup.
Yeah, and my edge highlighting has never been good.
Yeah,
but they're kind of thick edge highlights, so I could possibly do a little.
See, isn't so bad. The flag, however, that's done really well.
Yeah,
that's nice. That's actually really nice. I like it. All right, second version.
More enclosed.
Yeah,
I've never actually seen this one before. Anytime because I came in 7th edition, so I was here for this version.
Yeah, no, that one looks like a little bit like a tentacle beast, maybe a little bit. But definitely more enclosed.
This one is like a floating couch, right?
Floating couch and or a amusement park ride.
And this does look like a either amusement park ride or a bumper car.
Yeah.
And then this is the one I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
And I know you have a couple of storm speeders. Did you ever have a land? Because I know we've been in the hobby about the same amount of time.
Mm-hmm. No, I never picked that one up. I just never appealed to me. The design was okay.
Man, I had them for my wolves back in the day because I got them used and secondhand for my local hobby shop. And for the longest time, they were like really nice fire support for my space wolves, trying to help them get in close combat. Back then, they could just fly up to the top of a building, and I had with double heavy bolters, and I would just like lay out, strength 5 firepower to help my wolves get into combat.
What's the fork out in the front? What is that?
It's just some kind of sensor. It's just aesthetic only.
Oh.
I looked for stats for that for the longest when I was new to the hobby. I'm like, what is this thing? What are the stats on this?
You could put 2 marshmallows on it. Make s'mores. Oh, let me see.
So this is mine.
Oh, nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that white scars, that looks tasty.
So eventually when I started White Scars, like I said, these were both space wolves for a while, but they got.
I love your base too to hide the thing. I like that multi-levelness. The skull on there, really nice. Chaos skulls, very good.
So I always have a sweet spot for these because I did enjoy them back in the day. So I too, I probably wouldn't be as crazy about them if not because their stats aren't amazing, but I probably wouldn't feel that as crazy, have such a soft spot for them if it weren't for nostalgia. But I do like them. So that's where we ended up with, or when I came in 7th, that's what was there. They came out with several variations. So like the bolter assault cannon variant.
Yeah, I like that. I was looking at that.
But then there was the typhus. Oh, here we go. The typhoon. So the tornado is what mine was, the all bullets. The typhoon, though, had the heavy bolter and missiles combination. And that would have been cool. I always wanted one of those. But I never ended up getting one. And now they're going to come with missile stock, but we'll get to that in a minute. Fun fact. There was 2 Dark Angels land speeder variants that we'll get to. But the land speeder Storm was the special Space Marine Scout version. And former friend of the show, Al, that was one of his first purchases was Scouts and a Storm Speeder. And he painted one up for, like, one of his first painted pieces was he painted up with storm speeder for or land speeder storm for the for our local painting competition.
Have you spoken to him? How's he doing? I know he's been making bread lately.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I have been unfriended, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's fine.
Wow. I told you to stop trying to date him. I don't.
I posted one political thing, and it was just a picture. I didn't say anything. I didn't call anybody out. I posted one picture, and I got immediately unfriended, which is fine. I don't particularly care or mind. You know, that is what happens when you post something political. Sometimes people take it personally. So, and I don't. It's funny. That's not normally something I do, but it's just funny that I posted it one time and like, oh, okay. So anyway, so like, you know, the shit that that we had been through was one thing, but like one picture apparently is a line too far.
I'm sorry, bro.
That's fine. It's all gravy, baby. There was a couple of versions that were specific to the Dark Angels of these speeders. Oh, I haven't been oh yeah, I have been showing these speeders, but I didn't switch back. Okay. But I said articles and art. Click, clicky, click. So the Vengeance and the Dark Shroud. Because I run my my White Scars as my White Scars as Dark Angels, because Ravenwing is honestly the best Space Marine bike army. And so
I can't wait till they remake them so I can buy my Dark Angels. I am definitely gonna have.
That would be cool.
Yeah. And I got quite a few bikes that I can convert to.
And so I have used the rules for the Dark Shroud several times, because the Dark Shroud gives stuff around it -1 to hit and always made my stuff more survivable. I wonder what it'll do in the new edition where all cover is -1 to hit. I guess it'll just give nearby units cover. Because I don't think they'll be fixing -1 to hit rules. I think they'll just be like, this counts as cover.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Dark Shroud, the Sable Claw. Oh, the Sable Claw is another one. I think the Sable Claw is the one with the sword, where it's like, fly me closer so I can hit it with my sword.
I love that.
So you know, it's funny, you were mentioning speeders getting 4 attacks earlier, and I was like, well, it's likely that they are anticipating somebody leaning out and smacking. For sure, with this guy.
Right?
He's definitely going to lean out. Then in 2020, they released because these are all firstborn, they released the first of the Primaris speeders, the Storm speeders. And like yourself, I always like the look of these things. Now, granted, I never went ahead and picked one up because, unlike the other speeders, the other speeders were always cheap and cheerful, between 50 and 75 points most of the times. I think at one point the Typhoon version with the missiles got up to 90 because missiles were so good.
Yeah.
But like, so for the most part, like, you know, they were still cheap and cheerful. You could squeeze them into your list. The new ones are cool and do way more damage and can even debuff your opponent's army. But they are full vehicles in their own right, and you got to find a place in your army for it. Like, you not find a place, you have to plan them in your army. You know, I think they're 150 points a piece or something like that. This is
where if you got a couple of friends, a couple of beers and pretzels, and you're at the table and you say, you know what, let's play narrative, forget points.
Yeah, I was about to
take
say
whatever you want, and then that makes a cool game.
Yeah, if you're not playing with points, then it doesn't matter. But I never picked one up because I just couldn't find the points to play with these.
I bought a Battle Force box and it was in it. It was Space Marines. I've always bought Space Marine battle ever since 8th edition. I bought just about almost every Battle Force box.
I do want to get one eventually. I just didn't like having to plan around one.
Yeah.
This one is very similar. I like how, like, again, for someone who like doesn't really care about the nostalgic aspect of it, Like I do like how this is like a nod, like visually, it's the aesthetic really throws back to the classic.
It's definitely the successor to
Yeah.
that one. Yeah, you could definitely see that.
However, I do
it's lacking a fork for my
your toasted marshmallows.
But
like again, and like the being that the nostalgic part doesn't reveal, I do like that it's a throwback to the older one, but looking more sleek and modern in design. Right, it does look to me. To me, it looks nicer. It doesn't look as blocky.
Yeah.
Like this is fine.
Yeah, it just doesn't have substance.
Yeah,
well, this one has substance.
Yeah,
I like that.
I do like they added the more modern anti-grav plates, and I do love that the new version comes with both loadouts. Basically, you can go for the gun version and the missile version. So that's cool.
Yeah,
this is a very interesting. So, like, you could go like this one. Obviously, is going to be a little more close support fire because Melta's only like 24
anti-infantry.
Yeah, well, Melta's off like good for either elite infantry or vehicles.
Oh, I'm talking about the rotary.
Yeah, so it's like these seem like mixed profiles, but like range wise, these would go together because this is like 24 and this is like 24, and then like this can be longer range.
Sure.
But if you went with the heavy bolter option, you could get squeeze a little more range out of it. But overall,
I mean, if you were driving, I'd ride.
In the thumbnail, I've got you driving. Well, I'm sitting there blasting.
I see me, bro. I'm
an Asian driver. You don't want me driving.
Oh. I am not commenting on behalf of all the Asians.
It's okay when I do it. It's not racist against
Asians. He is Asian. I just always look at each other and say, we're all human race. That's just me. Oh my gosh. So I do want to say one thing that I have been working on. I am going to have the interview with Kenny Boucher, and I have not released it until the end of the show. So this way you can go over and check that out. It's 1 hour and 13 minutes, by the way.
Awesome.
They're checking to see stuff. So it should be in 8 minutes. I should be ready to go. Just writing the outro while I work.
I never liked the design for these speeches. However, I did like it in the story in Brotherhood of the Snake. Yeah, it was very cool in Brotherhood of the Snake.
I've never read that, but it sounds cool.
Yeah, that was such a wild hair for me because somebody at my local shop was like, "Oh, I really liked." He was painting the Brotherhood of the Snake Marines in Primaris, and I'd read about them in Gaunt's Ghosts, and it's like. So I had said, man, I really like these guys in Gaunt's Ghosts. And he's like, oh, yeah, they got their own book. So that day on the ride home, I started listening to that audiobook.
Nice.
Like Brother Rob said, his channel will have in 8 minutes interview with Kenny Boucher, legendary painter. So links are, of course, down in the description below. And any favorite parts tonight of the art or any of the things we looked at today, Brother Rob?
Me, every time I look at art, I always deconstruct and reconstruct because I want to see how I can do it or what areas I need to improve in to get that kind of effect. And that's why I usually reach out to those people. And luckily, they're not annoyed by me. There was only one artist that was like, no, I have no time for you. But every other person in the community was like, yeah, sure, I'll teach you how I did it. This is how I did. I'm like, what? Okay, I know what to practice next, I get excited. Then I look at my models like, I got to try this on something. What am I going to build? What am I going to make? That's so fun. But I really liked El Miniaturista's his reflections, his non-metallic metals is absolutely stunning. He really does have a command for light. I like Juan Sanz, which now I know his name, Stalker. Maybe I can have him on my channel. And Nira, really great. Rat, and of course Vinci V, the man. Which I I am really happy that I'll get to see again at the Nova Open because we get to hang out during the Nova Open.
You know, that one was a surprise for me because I thought Niara's was going to be my favorite of the Skaven because it ticked all the boxes that are like personal, taste things for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the OSL I always love seeing. That color combination, blues and pinks, are things I always love seeing. Of course, it was well executed. So like all of those things, like you're just like, oh, this one's probably going to be my favorite. But then when we went over to Vince's, it's just like, the twist on them, the fact that they didn't look like sewer rats, they looked noble and heroic. Was plus they were just like very eye catching. The white and red was very striking. And of course the red, of course, made a great background for all the green on the poison weapons to pop out. And just beautiful, beautiful Skaven.
Yeah, his stuff is great. His Skaven is amazing. You can see, just like my Space Wolves, you see if you saw his collection, he goes from when he hated painting to when he loved it and he wanted to compete in painting. And you can see the transition of his Skaven all throughout his army, just like my Space Wolves.
I would never have imagined that he had a hating painting phase.
Oh yeah, when he started, he just wanted to play because he's really big on game design. He makes his own games. He helped build D&D 5th edition. He worked on the Bard class, which, it's the Bard. But, at least he could say on your resume, yeah, I worked on D&D 5th edition. But, yeah, it's his. And you can check in. If you have 5th edition book, you can actually check in the player's handbook and find Vincent Benchwell's name. But
that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, he hated painting. And then he started loving it because it's something he can get better at.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah. Cool. Good stuff. Kenny B is an interesting person. The man knows how to make money with what he does. Yeah, he used to commission paint, and then he left that on the table for pursuing what he's doing now. And he's not actually leaving the game or retiring. It seems like that is a hoax that he plays every single year on his birthday. He says, oh, time to retire. I'm an old man.
I love that the thumbnail he always puts up for that is him like super aged.
Yeah. Yeah, super chill dude. We actually had 2 interviews. One, he wanted to talk about, streaming and putting on YouTube. He gave a lot of advice for his camera and his mic. We use the same mic. So that's really cool. So I might do a secondary interview, or maybe I'll pop it on my Patreon. So if anybody wants to join the Patreon, you'll see an exclusive interview with Kenny Boucher and I. I think I'll do that. Also, I'm working on videos for my Patreon on how to do wet blending for frost swords. And I am also doing a Patreon on how to do a free-handed claw on the knee pad of a Space Marine. So there's that too. Also will be on the Patreon. So I'm working on my Patreon. Hopefully I can get enough money to pay for things like a new video card, graphics card, or basically a new Adobe, so I can continue editing videos. So.
Have you considered one of the non-$1,000 video editing programs?
Yes. And I might have to do that, but we'll see.
I know Vegas is Hex to Hex. Hey, I must have missed you coming in. I'm so sorry, my friend. Good evening, Hex to Hex. I hope you're doing well. Damn, I just got here. Now I want ice cream. I could use some ice cream too. Oh, squirrel. What was I talking about? Oh, right. I know that program's supposed to be like cream of the crop. And definitely Sony Vegas does have like its, like limitations or whatever, but oh man, I think it's a fraction of the price.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's cool. I got to pull down my little land speeder today. I haven't played my White Scars in forever.
Now you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Mount some little missiles at the bottom until I can get one of the new ones. All right, guys, it's time for us to go check in on the new
Video.
interview over on his channel. If you guys like tonight's video, though, here, then please make sure that you grab up an ox and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor. Drop us some comments down below. Feel free to be part of tonight's ridiculous conversations. And if you guys are not yet subscribed to this guy, which you really should be, he's got a new interview coming out right now.
Right now.
If you're not subscribed to this guy or any of our friends down in the Friends of Frosted Fists down below, we would love to have you as part of the pack. So subscribe. Until next time, guys.
Stay frosty. All right.
Ooh. Ooh.